Hi everyone, it's Janet Wakeland with Remarkably Created, and what I will be doing for the next 5-6 nights, I gotta count them all out, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, actually the next 7 nights, I can use my fingers and count them out, but from today, August 30th through September 5th at 8 p.m. every night, I'm gonna be bringing you my favorites. It'll be kind of a product review if you've seen any of the sneak peek unboxing videos that I did, but I'm going to go over the things that are my favorites, what I consider must-haves, things that I would stretch my budget to purchase. And what we'll do is I'll share those products with you. I'm going to share some samples with you. And then unlike the unboxing videos, we're actually going to make a card from start to finish in every one of those videos. Because while it's nice to see the finished samples, it's always nice to see the steps of making that card. And that's something that going forward, you'll see a lot more of here on my social media, on my Facebook page. So let's jump right in. And all of the products that I'm showcasing and the launch that I'm talking about is the launch of this mini catalog right here. In addition, this morning, I gave you information on 5 additional packs of paper that aren't on here that will be featured online. They can be combined with any type of order. If you text me, email me, call me, or simply shop online, those additional 5 papers can be added to any order. So this is what we're all excited about. If you don't have one, need one, reach out to me. So this paper here is definitely one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites, and let me move everything aside here for a second, for a couple of different reasons. One, because it's very easy to use. I found this paper very, very card friendly. I found that the colors in it just really, you've got Proud Peacock, Garden Green, Old Olive, you've got your Pecan Pie, you've got your Real Red, so the colors in it, Balmy Blue. So you've got some really great basic colors that also just are really easy to use and really coordinate well with a lot of other paper and products that are out there. Great prints here. You've got versatile prints. So we can definitely do, you know, just want to do some winter birthdays. You've got this. Maybe you've got some trips to the zoo. Maybe some of you have been to Alaska this summer. This would be great paper for scrapbooking that. And again, some more bears and trees. You've got some beautiful pine. You've got berries. You've got some beautiful blue trees. Again, little icy look there. Some smaller trees. And then when we flip it over, you've got some great prints. Prints like this, stripes doesn't have to be just for the holidays, and that's another thing that I always look for when I look at making decisions on investing in crafting products is, can I get more than, for example, just holidays out of a holiday pack of paper? And most certainly with these stripes, you can do that. You can do some wintry, snowy things with the snowflakes. Pine needles don't necessarily have to be Christmas again if you're into camping or being out in the woods. Beautiful dots. Dots are like generic, right? Dots and stripes, they go everywhere. And then you've got a couple of trees. Another reason why I love this paper, let's set all of these prints aside for a second, is because of the way that it coordinates with the Merriest tree bundles. And let's flip this around just a little bit. Let's see if it'll stay better. There we go for you. Some of you trying to watch like this. Sorry about that. But the Merriest Tree Bundles is one of my favorite bundles as well. I've shown you some samples with this. Because of the dies, because of the trees in it, I love this bundle. Actually, I like the whole suite that this Merriest Trees is part of it, but I love the tags. I love how easily it is to decorate if you want to get a little fussy, because the artisans designed so many small extra pieces that, like here, I can cut out 9 ornaments, stamp it 3 times and then cut out 9 of them. These little squares, packages, you name it. So I love all of the elements. In addition, these Merriest Tree Dies work really well here with what you see on this paper. So let's get another small tree here. And then you've got 2 extra little pieces here. And what's cool about that is I can simply start to pick elements of the larger trees with some of these smaller dies and things like that. So I absolutely love that. And then another product that I'm really enjoying is this bear punch. We have two types of punches. We have just what I call your basic punch. It punches out just a simple shape. And then we have what are called builder punches. And builder punches will punch out a whole bunch of little shapes all at once. And while they can be kind of fun, I'm not gonna say that I'm their #1 fan, okay? Just because sometimes I want just a small little piece, they make a mess. I'm sorry about that. But the bear punch, I love. It looks like a bear even without stamping it. I can punch bears from this designer paper. Let me cut off just a little bit so it slides right down in there. But and then there's paper from the Berry Christmas Suite that I can punch out as well. And then there is a stamped image. But again, even without the stamped image or the designer paper, it's still a shape. If I turn this over, I mean, that looks like a bear. So I love that punch for this reason. Oops, and now I got it stuck in here, didn't I? Yes, I did. So let me show you another reason why I love this paper. And this was something that I discovered as I was preparing to do this video for you and a few more samples. Stampin' Up! Has something called Memories and More. And the cards, some of the cards in the Memories and More pack work perfectly with this paper. So this is one of the 4x3 cards, and it has the same colors as the striped designer paper. And just for fun, I wanted to show you just one of the things that's so cool about paper crafting. Exact same card, exact same layout, exact same designer paper background. The difference is the element on the front. In this case, I added some zigzag paper here just for an extra border. And here I have the With Love, and the white gives you a little extra element around here. But it's the same project. This is my favorite go-to fold. Cut your paper lengthwise, fold it in half, and then you're going to fold it back on itself. And you get this really easy Z-fold. But again, there's that Memories and More card. There's that. So I love paper for that. You saw this one here, and we're going to be talking a little bit about this. I'm going to be teaching you something called the suede technique. But again, see that shape? I don't need to paint it. I don't need to stamp it. Again, that's why I love that bear punch. So the Merriest Trees, the Walk in the Forest paper, the bear punch, definitely all favorites. And here's that beautiful paper on this card. Then this is another Memories and More. So I used elements from these words came off of the 4x6 that this piece came off of. And another one of my favorites, it's not from the holiday catalog, but it's perfect with the holiday catalog, and it's these metallic snowflakes in 3 different sizes in the pack. So I love that. And a little tip for you, take a look at these snowflakes. Another favorite that I absolutely have is these glitter disc. They are totally flat. Okay, so they literally are just like flat little disc, and I'm like absolutely enamored of them because they're flat and they really do glimmer. And again, they're in 2 different sizes, but I'm finding that they are really perfect alone to add some bling. Or in this case, I added some to the center of the snowflakes just for a little extra pop there. So if you're keeping track, that's the other ones that I just absolutely love. So here again, another Memories and More card, and then just pairing the paper. The paper in this pack really coordinates well with itself. And then the last one in the card that we're gonna make together is this card right here. I wanted kind of what I call a faux snow globe look. And all of the elements, the 3 trees and the bear, are punched from the paper or die cut from the paper. I'm gonna show you how to make the ring. And then the background of this is another one of my holiday catalog favorites. And it is this, I think it's Snow Falling Sky or Sky, something to do with snow. And I'm so sorry I don't have it committed to memory yet. I've just been having so much fun playing with them. But it is a 6x6 3D folder, which gives you a really nice deep depth, and you're gonna see that. So let's start to bring in some of our elements and some of the things that we're going to need to work on the project that I have planned here. So stamp, cut, and emboss. If you don't have some type of die cutting machine and you're starting to get into paper crafting, this would make a really nice holiday present, birthday present, anniversary present, because I like myself present. Die cutting for me is just such a way to add a nice layered element without having to always fussy cut with my scissors. It just adds that little extra depth, that little extra artistry. And believe it or not, sometimes it can actually be a time saver as well. So this is Stampin' Up! Stamp, Cut, and Emboss machine. And we are going to start first with just die cutting, say this, Janet, the trees. So let's just bring the trees in here. And hold on, let me make sure I get this all on here right. And there's different plates with your die cutting machine. When you put plates together, think of it as building a sandwich, and that's what we call it, is a sandwich. And there are other die cutting machines on the market. And so I'm not gonna be specific. I'm not gonna say, hey, do die cut this layer, because it's different for every model. But what's nice about Stampin' Up's is it has cheater numbers and cheater instructions on them. So I love that. You know, we all have those moments that no matter how long you've been crafting, you ask yourself, how do I do that again? It's kind of like typing a letter to someone and asking yourself, how do I spell the? You know, if you've ever been doing that, I'm sure I'm not alone in doing that. So here we have our big tree cut, and let's bring in our little tree. It's nice and quiet. It'll creak just a little bit. I brought out new plates just for you guys because mine's well loved, so I didn't want to have you see kind of like the dirty laundry. And let's make this fun little tree here. And while we have the machine out, let's go ahead and let's put our trees aside, put them on our magnetic sheet so we don't lose them. And we're gonna bring in our folder. And I have a piece of basic white. And your paper can go side to side or up and down. It depends on your layout. In this case, the card that we're making is portrait mode. So I'm going up and down. And this folder, kind of a small, like small amount of snowflakes, but larger, and then it gets more dense down towards the bottom. And we'll see if that shows up on the folder for all of you here in just a second. Let's see if this is gonna work. Nope, Jenna, hello, do it right. You can tell. It's one of those ones when you haven't done something for a while in front of other people. Okay. And just real quick, just to show you something fun about this machine is it has a really small footprint on your tabletop. The sides fold up and you can just move it out of the way. We're gonna bring it back in towards the end. I have a bonus tip for you. So let's bring our folder in. Actually, I need it again. I'm gonna need it back here in just a second for the circles. So we have this piece here. So now let's kind of start to work with some of our elements. And I already have the bear ready to go for you. So that's all done. I just punched that out from the paper. You saw us working with that. I have garden green cardstock that is cut 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And let's go ahead and let's score it in the middle. So that would be 5 1/2. Gonna give it a nice score. It ends up looking a little nicer here. And so we've got this piece. We've got our snowflakes. We have our trees. And now we need our circles. So let's go ahead and bring that die cut machine back in for just a second. Should have done all of that at once, but that's okay. So we'll bring all of our pieces back in here that we're going to need. And what I have here is our deckled circles, yet another favorite. I think that basic shape dies, whether they're circles, squares, triangles, hexagons, you name it, anything that's just a basic shape is such an essential because there's so many things that you can do with it, so many layering opportunities. And in this case, you have 14 circles, the largest one of which is 5 3/4. So pretty cool. I'm going to pull 2 of them out that are the whitest one. And are these the 2 that I want? Let me just, where's my MasterCard? Okay, so you move this off to the side for a second. So I have 2 dies, and I'm going to put both of them on the paper at the same time. Now, if you're worried about them shifting just a little bit, you can use a piece of washi tape, painter's tape, Post-it note tape, anything that holds it in place. But I'm 99% positive these are going to stay still for me. So I'm going to lay them down, and I'm going to die cut with both of them on the machine at the same time. And what we're doing is we're just creating a ring. And you'll notice I always come back through. It's just habit, and also a lot of times because, you know, the space isn't up there at the top to always pull it out and through the way that you want it to do. So I've got that piece. I've got my ring now, and now I've got a circle that we'll save and use on something else. So we'll set that aside again for a minute. And now let's bring in all of our other pieces, and let's start to put this together. So I'm going to take, and I'm actually going to put my ring down first. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to take a little bit of liquid glue, and I'm just going to kind of dab it on around the ring. And again, like I said, I was kind of going for a faux snow globe look. You could actually go full on snow globe, and I'll tell you how in just a second. So if I had, instead of having these leaves on top, if I had put them under the ring and then and cut them all off so they weren't sticking behind this. I have this loose because I wanted to show everybody before how this ring worked. But again, if everything was tucked within the boundaries of the ring and then used a little bit of acetate, but I just kind of wanted to kind of mimic that look just a little bit, if that makes sense. And nothing's going to go on behind this card. And you can either use liquid glue or you can use your seal, whichever works. Whatever your favorite adhesive is, liquid glue, seal, tear and tape, dimensionals, they're all my faves. And now we're going to start to layer. And I liked this tree behind. And what's great about the first card you see was all done in old olive for the most part, the layer and the ring. And in this case, we are going to do the, let's hold on to that for a second. The card with garden green, just to show you a variety of colors that really do work with this. And because I'm working with Stampin' Up! Products, I know that my designer paper, my inks, my cardstock, all of that are going to coordinate really well together. We're gonna put that on here. And I'm using up the edges of the dimensionals. How many of you use up your edges? Don't put anything to waste, right? I use it all up. I didn't use too many years ago, and somebody like really kind of showed me the error of my ways, and now I use them up like crazy. Plus, some of them are perfect. The narrow ones for words and things like that, they all have a little bit of a purpose. So we're going to pop that up, and then we're going to take our bear, and we're going to slip it in behind this tree. So he's kind of coming out of the forest there. And then we'll take some of our snowflakes. And again, they are in 3 different sizes. I'm just looking for my little, oh my gosh, where is it? All these U-pick tools here. And do you think I have the one with the spatula end handy? Absolutely not. Well, we're just going to use the pokey tool. So we're just going to pick these up and put them down. put a couple of different size snowflakes on there. Put them in here. And then just to show you something fun, over here I have it already die cut out. This is the base that you can use to do a Christmas tree. So if I really wanted this to look like a snow globe, if you put that little piece down here at the bottom, it can become the base of your snow globe that easily. Now I have one more little bonus tip that I want to share with you. And oftentimes when we are cutting out pieces from designer paper, we'll be left with pieces that hang off the edge. And you don't want to waste those, and you don't want to think, well, what am I going to do with that? It's just part of a tree. I mean, you might be able to do something with the back of this, but I do want to show you that it is possible to use just that side as well. So let's just kind of pick some of these up, put them in the trash can right here. And I didn't score this, but pretend like I just did. We'll just give it a nice crease though. And let's go ahead and bring that die cut machine back in. I like using up my scraps. For some reason, when I use my scraps, it makes me feel very accomplished. It makes me feel a little more profitable, like I'm not wasting anything, kind of say, you know what, I used it all up. Even the scrap pieces, I can seriously buy some more. So, you know, it makes me feel good to do that. I don't know about you guys. If you use your scraps, give me a big smiley face or give me a good tip for how you use your scraps. So this tree, you can see here, does hang off the edge. So when I go to put the die on it, it's gonna die cut the three sides of the top, the side, and along the bottom just a little bit. And we're gonna do both trees that are on this little scrap here. And I did move my handle to the other side. I am blessed to be pretty ambidextrous, so I usually do use my handle on the left side. But it's also nice to know that, oops, I'm gonna put it right in the trash, didn't I? Doggone it, Janet. There we go. Nice to know that some machines and things can be used with either the right hand or the left hand. The only thing I struggle with is cutting with my left hand. My handwriting's horrible, so it doesn't look any better right or left. So it is what it is. So let's pull these trees in. And let's show you now what we're gonna do with them. Just a little bonus tip for you tonight as we play around with some of my favorites. And now we're gonna take that right to the edge of the card, and then this one as well. And we could simply pull in another bear, we could pull in another image, but that straight edge, because it was on the straight edge of the paper, lines up really pretty. And here I could just simply also put a beautiful greeting and have a card done that quick and easy. So just some fun ideas for you guys with a whole bunch of my favorite products. So just to review, it was the really fun and beautiful Walk in the Forest paper. One other thing I didn't mention, and another reason why I love this paper, is because $3 from the purchase of this paper goes to charities that will make holidays bright and happy here in the United States. This paper is being sold as well in our global markets, Europe and South Pacific, and the same equivalent donation will be made in those markets. So for those of you shopping with your demonstrator in Europe or in the South Pacific, you'll have a chance to make a difference too, as part of your purchase price goes to those charities. So that's something else. So the Walk in the Forest paper, the Merriest bundles here, the Bear Punch, I adore. We have our glitter disc, our snowflakes, which aren't in the annual catalog, but they are online. And then I have the decal circles. So those are my favorites to share with you tonight. Come on back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. and I'll have some more favorites. I'll have some older samples and some new samples to share with you, and we'll make another card together, guys. I know I talk fast. I sometimes talk with my hands too. So if you ever need me to clarify anything, don't feel bad asking me to clarify. I know my shortcomings. So ask me to clarify, ask questions and things like that. I'm always here to help you have a remarkably crafty experience. So thanks, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Take care.